Alright, so I'm broadcasting the new look Red Sox for the first time in this 2014 campaign, and the Yankees are leading in the bottom of the third, 4-3, as Ortiz fouls one off to make it 0-2. So, of course, the concern, well, there were kind of many concerns with these trades, but one of them was, the Red Sox acquired more offense, sure, but they've lost their top two pitchers in Lester and Lackey. Not saying that they win this game or that they win anything with Lester and Lackey this year, but well, the Red Sox did jump on top pretty early in this game, 3-0, and in the third inning it's now 4-3 because Allen Webster gave up 4 in the top half of the inning, which is going to happen because Allen Webster, while he might have some potential, he has not quite turned into, the big league prospect that fans were hoping for when they first traded for him by trading Adrian Gonzalez and company out of town. So right now we got Ortiz, Cespedes, and Napoli, kind of the new middle of the order, if you will. Although Napoli and Ortiz are holdovers from last year's team. And Ortiz, who got screwed on a pitch earlier by the umpires. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. And looks like he's going to pop out. Well, let's see here. Jeter going back. Someone's going to catch it. Of course. Alright, so 1 out in the inning. The Yankees on top 4-3. Red Sox are actually lucky it's just a 1-run deficit because it was a really messy inning by Webster. Got the first couple outs pretty easily and then just walking the ballpark, giving up hits, and, here we are. Only 4 runs for the Yankees, so it's 4-3. And here comes the new guy yet again, Yoenis Cespedes. Had to hit his first time up. Let's go, Cespedes! So, of course, Cespedes is saying and doing all the right things, but it's got to be kind of frustrating for him to go from the first place Oakland Athletics to the last place Red Sox. Obviously, his bat will be, very much needed here as he grounds to third and is retired for the second out. Decent speed, too. But obviously, for Cespedes, he'll be a key part of this team, but at the same time, you think, you're going to the playoffs with the Oakland Athletics, a chance to win the World Series, and you go to last year's champions who aren't really doing so hot this year, Boston Red Sox. And John Lester, who, you think would be thrilled to go to the A's, didn't really seem like it in at least his initial press conference. Still obviously in shock about everything that went on, the team that drafted him, the team that, brought him up, the Red Sox, trading him at the deadline, and that's got to still be a shock to him as Napoli comes up to bat after having a 2-run home run earlier in the game. So, low pitch. Actually surprised that was called a ball. It should have been, but umpire has been very inconsistent tonight. And, as I was saying, the trade deadline obviously still kind of a major topic for Boston fans and probably Oakland fans alike. Just all around baseball. As green for the Yankees here is 2-0 on Napoli. 2 very close pitches in the strike zone. So here we are, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. The Red Sox hoping that their new offensive-minded strategy can at least pay some dividends. I'm not expecting them to, win every game by any stretch. That was a strike. Yeah, 2-1. But I'd settle for a sweep of the Yankees at this point. That would be kind of nice. They won the first game of this series, and they're not out of this game. It's only 4-3. Bottom of the third inning with 2 outs. I was going to say, you better not call that one a strike. 3-1. Now, Alan Craig, here's the interesting thing, and I might have mentioned this in my rant, but I'm going to mention it again. He's not playing today, but the Red Sox acquired Alan Craig of all players, and the reason why that's so hilarious is because of last year's obstruction disaster in the World Series. I was going to say, that is ball 4, so Napoli takes the walk. And I was actually somewhat sarcastically looking forward to Craig playing in a Red Sox uniform, just so that I could somehow jeer or cheer him depending on what happens in every at-bat that he had for the Red Sox. Here comes Daniel Nava. If you remember the other night, I tore into him pretty hard, as I did most of the Red Sox lineup. It still doesn't excuse the poor performance of the Red Sox, in my opinion. Fact of the matter is, if the Red Sox hadn't lost so many key games in June, July, maybe they wouldn't have traded their top 2 starters. Maybe they wouldn't have traded all the players they did, and we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. Surely they had enough offensive talent last year to contend. I don't know if the American League just figured them out that quickly or if that many players had to decline when they weren't that old. But for whatever reason, the Red Sox offense is one of the worst in baseball. Obviously, even still, not much has changed yet. But the Red Sox made these moves with that in mind, thinking that it would be harder to get a player like Cespedes as a free agent, or same with Alan Craig or whoever else they could have gotten. So, from that perspective, I'm actually kind of surprised they thought that one through. Usually they just get a bunch of pitching prospects and, one or two of them comes up and is good. But, you know, again, obviously the eye is on the future here as they show the Red Sox are 12.5 back. Obviously not doing too much this year, but that's the other thing, though. Next year was kind of, even with all these issues in the air, it looked like it could have been a promising season. You know, you would have had Bogaerts and all the prospects like another year in the majors, and assuming they would have retained Lester and Lackey, you could have seen this team doing something. Now, I don't know. Now, you don't have those pitchers. You're going to have to sign those pitchers, and I don't know if you're going to have pitchers that good on the market, other than John Lester himself, who may or may not re-sign with Boston. I think it's a matter of him wanting to, but I don't think the Red Sox are going to get any closer in the negotiations than they did this past season. Oh, come on, that was outside. 2-1, and I was just casually watching that. I just watched that pitch cruise outside the strike zone. But the umpire has decided it's a strike, so therefore that is what it must be. Pretty sure the plate is over there, though. Man, that is frustrating. So 2-1 should be 3-0 because none of these pitches have been particularly close. Now the fouls went off, and now it's 2-2. So, you know, the Yankees, that's another interesting team because obviously the Yankees have some players. They got, you know, some talent. They got Jacoby Ellsbury from the Red Sox, and they have their own set of talented players, but not all of them have produced or they've been injured. And that's why the Yankees, while they're still in the hunt technically for the second wild card, they're a good way out of the division as well. And, you know, a sweep against the Red Sox would be kind of nice to see the Red Sox sweep them, if only to kind of drag them further into the cellar, the Yankees, I'm saying. Alright, so 3-2. Really, most of those pitches weren't even strikes, but somehow it's 3-2 and not like a walk. That's alright. Bogaerts is on deck now. I was joking, but only somewhat, that they could have traded Bogaerts and gotten a lot if they were able to get what they got. But anyway, be that as it may. Here we go. Daniel Nava up to bat with 3-2, and Gomes is going with the pitch. Ooh, wait a minute. Might not get him, but they do. All right, well, Nava kind of sucks. So, there's your inning. Red Sox still go down. They got to walk out of it, but they still go down pretty much in order. I'll be back with more.